Who's from Queensland? Yeah! There you go, baby.
Right, that's a 100-point penalty for each of those.
I suppose, okay, they're opposition, they always give them a bit of a hard time. Where's the NZ? Where's the New South Wales people? Yeah! Yep, Queensland's got that one again. Righto, fair enough. Okay, yeah, I'll try one more. How about...
What about we go a little bit further west? Western Australia.
Oh, that's great. Big round of applause for those people, guys.
That's a long way.
Well done. Big effort. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for bringing the dust. Yeah. Mate, what about your favourite people?
Bloody Mexicans.
Bloody Mexicans. Where are they?
Mexicans.
Awesome, awesome. Good, good. Thank you for...
As a token gesture, we've got one up here as well.
Do we? Okay. Well, we have a surprise. Where is the people from the Northern Territory? Not here yet?
They must be still coming. We've got a team from the Northern Territory. I know their car's here because on the back of a transporter.
Oh, okay. Are they not here yet? We'll give them a round of applause later on. That's fantastic. Okay, cool, cool, cool. But we do have a surprise. There's actually one couple here from New Zealand.
Yes, there is. Where are
they?
you?
Where is it, I think, forgive me, is it Sean and Caleb? Yeah, no, they were really excited on the way in. Sorry, buddy.
Apparently they're flying the drone.
They're flying the drone.
Look up and wave.
So, by the way, everybody look up right now and wave. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, hey. God, the drone's not there.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that.
Fantastic. Okay, we've already spoken about some. So there's a huge amount of players, Mick. So, ladies and gentlemen, from the first timers.
What about South Australia?
What about them? Sorry, did I say that? That was really bad. Okay, thank you, South Australia. Yeah! Awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
Did somebody turn off the light when you were left coming?
Okay, that's pretty good, actually. Anyone else we've forgotten? Anybody? ACT.
Oh, I know that voice.
Are you the only one? Oh, okay. Well, thank you anyway.
That was a voice from one of our paramedics that are here this weekend. Hopefully you don't meet them, because if you do, something's gone wrong. But we've got a really good team of paramedics. They're all paramedics or clinical nurses or emergency nurses in their regular jobs, so they know what they're doing. You're in very good hands.
So from the, ladies and gentlemen, especially as I said before, from the competitors that are brand new, the marshals are here to help. We will help you to the point where it's fair for everybody, but we won't tell you what to do. If you are stuck and you have senior people in your group that have been doing it for 10 years, 7 years, 20 years, 26 years, one gentleman over here has been doing it for 26 years, just ask. They don't bite, they will help you. And if you get good communication, you will have, Mick, an amazing week.
I'll have a fantastic time. Every team that's here in the past has always been as competitive as you all are, you buggers. Everybody's very good to their fellow man. So, guys, if you don't know something, if you're broken and you need a part, just reach out. Someone will help you.
Look, 100%. Okay, another thing. A lot of you guys have come a long way. Some have sponsors, some have not. It doesn't matter. When you get interviewed, the drivers and navigators, which you will, it will be me.
This ugly bloke right here will be
this
done.
ugly guy right here. I can't do jokes. I can, but I'm not allowed. So it will be me. Please, I will lead you in the questions. Please speak about your car, what you've done, your sponsors who have helped you, and your sponsor could be your lovely wife, your lovely husband, whatever, your partner, whatever. Speak about them, no swearing. Why? Because, Mick, the audience we have being live is on Cliffhanger and a lot of other sites. I haven't mentioned any sponsors yet because that's not my responsibility. It's actually Steve and Rudy's, so they'll be speaking about sponsors. But no swearing, period. Yeah. No swearing. We are live and kids will be watching that, yeah?
Yes, and believe you me, it was very hard today to sit Manny down and explain to him, it only took 4 hours, that it's live and there's no 10-second delay and he's not allowed to swear and he's not allowed to say certain things. Very difficult for him, but he's doing pretty good so far.
Look, we try very hard, but you know, it's all about communication, a lot of fun, and as you know, we've walked this park a lot of times and we've had a lot of fun with a lot of you guys already. So we're just trying to set the scene for an amazing week. So let's talk about setting the scene. There's a particular little short guy that we want to introduce shortly. Oh, that's good, young fucker. Very good, man. Hey, yeah, about this shortly. We're going to introduce him about this shortly.
You don't get bonus points for that, by the way.
Yeah, give him something. I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, so where did you meet the roadster?
The Count.
The Count.
All right. The Count. This guy, I'll just give you the background.
Well, Mick, how long have you been racing for?
We didn't need to put air in tyres because they were solid rubber.
Or wouldn't?
Look, my first races were things like the etiquette down in Victoria,
Yep. Amazing.
Outback Challenges. The first time I met Steve already was involved in those sort of things, and you know, the Outback Challenge especially, you know, guys like Steve are always creating problems with their
100%.
to life, as some of you people know.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wait till he'd fall asleep, and then you go steal all his food and water. So the next day he's got nothing for 3 days.
So speaking about shortly, where's the first time you met him?
25, 30 years ago.
Okay, and where did you meet him? Like, how did you bump into him?
Literally. He stopped a little bit quicker than my car could stop, so I had to explain to his car needed to move a bit further.
Aha, succeed.
And that's how we met.
Booyah.
Yeah, bada bing.
Okay, so I've been racing for about 26 years, and Rudy has booked me every time in this place, in other places that we have raced for driving at 5 kilometres an hour. You pay $5, and I honestly believe that's for his cigarette collection.
His cigars.
His cigar, sorry.
Towards his cigars and his haircuts, because they're very special haircuts.
I know, right. So, with that, if you meet Rudy, stay under 5 kilometres an hour, you will pay $5, but it's all for a good cause, and he'll talk about that later on. So, with that, we should introduce him, hey?
I'll just tell him a couple of little lies about him first.
Oh, you go.
Yeah, righto. Just a background for you guys that never met Rudy and don't know him. The Count, as we all know him, he's run over 120 no runs, which is pretty amazing in itself. Steve used to help him with that. And then they came across and started doing this. Then Rudy went back to that. Now he's come back to help him with the final one. He's the founder of some godforsaken road somewhere. What's it called?
I know.
The Aberfeldy Tracks Project. I know he's very proud of it, and it gets government assistance to do it all.
Do all the guys in Melbourne do a lot of Rudy stuff, the NAV stuff?
The nav runs?
NAV runs, yeah, you guys have done them? Yeah, good. Okay, well, you guys were done. Yep.
Unfair advantage for them coming here because he's already taught them how to use a GPS. But anyway, look, in one sentence, I describe Rudy as the happiest-go-lucky person I've ever met. And
when he comes out of his coffin.
Yeah, when he's out of his coffin, he's all right. And the most generous guy you've ever met, provided he got your money first.
That's exactly right. High five! I like very much.
And obviously my job here is about to end.
So yeah, no, it was going really good at Bobo. So listen, guys, this is a very emotional 20-year anniversary. The after party will be amazing. We are going to bust our butts to help each and every one of you, spectators, first timers, everyone to have a great time. So a big.
No, keep going. Rudy's the sort of guy.
So anyway, what I was saying,
not big on crowds. I need you all to start yelling, "We want Rudy!"
Yeah.
It's the only way we'll get him out here, guys. Come on.
So anyway, the coffin opens.
Coffin opens.
So here we go. We want Rudy. Let's go. We want Rudy. We want Rudy. We want Rudy. We want Rudy. We want Rudy.
Oh my God, he's coming. We're leaving.
Oh my God, he actually put his hair back. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
He just did.
Hey, trying to get money out of your pocket. I know.
Thank you, guys. Very overwhelming. And thank you, everyone, for the final event. Just an amazing turnout. I can't see way down the back. It's too dark, but might go for a fair way back. So, really proud to be involved, and really appreciate everyone to make the effort to come up. And I hope you're going to have a good week. The weather's going to be great. And it's going to get dusty, but that's all part of it. So,
Says someone who's sitting in air conditioning.
me, I got no air conditioning. Yeah.
Really wouldn't pay for air conditioning.
Yeah. But just very quickly, won't bore you. As you were saying, the Aberfeldy Track Historic Touring Route, I'm very proud. I founded that some 13, 14 years ago. It's a historic touring route, and it's the largest in the Southern Hemisphere by far. And I'm really proud. It's to keep our history alive, and I'm very proud to be involved in that, and I'm very proud of our Australian history as well, and all the mining and all the what our past ancestors and that did, and how hard it was those days, and I brought it back so everyone can enjoy and go out there and appreciate how hard it was and how easy we got it today. So yeah, but and that's all funded by my volunteers and not the government anymore, and we maintain it. And there's quite a few members in the crowd here as well who also support and come on my trips and do the hard walking and all the books I publish on that area as well. So very proud. But yeah,
So maybe a question or two for you, mate.
yeah, sure.
You're the count.
Yes.
No one knows where in the earth you came from. And you mentioned a minute ago, you said something about relatives or family.
Yeah.
Where do the counts come from?
Well, it's actually true. I did some ancestral checking, and I have got counts in the family.
You haven't answered my question.
One!
And that TV show that you were on, is that where you got all the money to fund other projects?
What TV?
When you were the count and you could count?
Oh, count. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You got to check out that song, I Can Count to 4. Does anyone know I'm talking about, that heavy metal song? Yeah, it is really cool. Check it on YouTube. I Can Count to 4. It's the best. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
All right, you sick of talking?
Yep.
All right, you got to stay here.
I'm staying
You
here.
got to stay here. Now,
Round of applause for Rudy, I suppose, eh?
yes.
Rudy, just stay up here.
Rudy's going to stay up here for the moment. Now, we've got to get his partner in crime up here.
Yeah, this man was, this man is a silent assassin. I mean, he's one of the fiercest competitors. I met him in the Outback Challenge in 2001. We're all stuck in a room, we're all getting breathalyzers, and he was throwing things at the police people, and I was the quietest one there. You weren't there. None of you were there.
But I was.
Yeah, I know, right? Steve was with a guy called Roger, the yellow Range Rover? Roger Smith. Yeah, thank you.
Smith.
Roger Smith, and fierce competitors. Steve is amazing. When we were a lot younger on the rope, navigating, mechanic-wise. So this is why Cliffhanger, Mech, has been so successful.
100%.
So he came up with an idea, fulfilled it, and look, we had some tough events sometimes. We only had sometimes, Rudy, I think 15 cars here.
Oh, the first event was only 7.
The first car was only 7. So setting up something like this, how long has Steve been here now, and the team? Mick?
20 this year.
No. How long has it been to set this up for the guys?
For this year, probably a total of 3 months, maybe a bit more. And, you know, you're talking about half a dozen people coming up and staying for 5 to 10 days doing stuff, then going away, coming back doing more. But Steve on his own, and probably Rudy as well, because counting all those beans and making sure those dollars are there is a big job, I know. And they would have spent months of time. And remember, they're trying to run their own businesses as well. So it's a huge task.
And the reason it's been so successful is because when you're a navvy and a driver, because he's a very good driver, and you understand what the drivers want, you understand what the navvies want, you become very successful at what we're doing, hence what we have here. Hence what these two guys have set up, and Mick was also a big part of that, which is really, really good. So, without further ado, I'm going to put something on, see if I can get him all fired up. Without further ado, I think this is really good. We'll give him a round, big round of applause. But hang on a minute, we have a question. No, we won't.
As usual, too eager.
Step on the gun.
So just a little bit of background about Steve, as like we did with Rudy.
Absolutely.
Because some people here don't know him. But just following on from what Manny said, you know, Steve's an incredible people person. He's got all the experience in the world, and to a lot of you, he's probably the front man and works very hard. Poor old Rudes, he's the back office man, but trust me, he works just as hard. And they're like yin and yang. They are opposites, but they go together so well. And he's just confirmed to me that yes, he does work very hard, right? but for those of you who don't know Steve, so he's done probably 15 outbacks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes,
More,
absolutely.
15 plus outbacks.
Yeah.
He's done a Ticos. You name it, he's done it.
Yeah.
And he's done it through an era of all the big names in our industry, in our racing.
I've never seen him in New Zealand when we were doing New Zealand.
Well, yeah, some of us were good enough to get invited to New Zealand, but no, Steve wasn't there.
Well, goes to
Tough titties.
Goes to play.
Yeah. But so the guy's got so much experience in this stuff, it's just unbelievable. But I just also want to say, it's a huge sacrifice. Like, I know it's hard to believe, but he's got a better half too, and she's a beautiful
And mate,
lady.
is he punching above his
Oh, he's punching above his weight like I wouldn't believe.
She's a lovely
And
lady.
Steve's got his beautiful family.
Yeah.
They've all come up this weekend because it is the last one.
Yep.
But
Apparently.
yes. No, they're here. They're here.
No, the last one.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But his family's come up, and he made the comment to me the other day. When he did the first Cliffhanger, his eldest son was this big. Today, you are competing against his oldest son, who is now this big. So
Wow.
it's like a full circle for him.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Hence
time.
the emotional side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Eddie Mulberry. Okay, so I'm just going to play something, and please appreciate what we're trying to say to you. We're not professional people, but we do okay, as in speaking on stage here, which is a trailer. So a big round of applause. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Let's get the emotion going.
Well,
Welcome to the stage, buddy.
welcome to the stage, everybody. Where are you, Stephen? Stephen Hobbs, please come up here. Come on, everybody.
Hey everyone. Oh God. What are the chances of keeping that a secret?
We'll be here a while.
Thanks everybody.
And by the way, it's Steve's birthday. And Steve, shit, of all the things we forgot. And by the way, Steve, this is a birthday card from everyone here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks guys. Thanks everyone. It's a very special occasion, and I can't think of a better place to be on your birthday, surrounded by so many friends and family, and you know, doing what we love doing best. Totally stressed, totally frazzled. Wouldn't have it any other way. But hey, I met Rudy. It was in the 90s. I was in a four-wheel drive club called the Navrun Four-Wheel Drive Club.
Yarraman.
Oh, Yarraman.
Yarraman.
And the Yarraman Four-Wheel Drive Club, and we were running an event as a club called the Yarraman Midnight Pursuit. And it was modelled off some old events I used to do with Bruce Kennedy, who's here somewhere. Where's Bruce? Anyway, Brucey's out here. So, yeah, I was in the club at the Gold Coast Four-Wheel Drive Club with Bruce back in the early 90s, and we would run lots of events. It was just a club thing we used to do. And then I came to Victoria to live, heaven forbid. And so I continued that legacy of running events, and we created the Yarraman Midnight Pursuit. And that later became the Ramsey Midnight Pursuit, which became the Cymex Pursuit. Okay, remember that? Yep. So, and then Rudy, and then I was using these maps from a company called Paoletti's Maps, because they were the best ones. They had all the fine details, all the mine sites, and all the good hard stuff, and it said don't use this track because it's really hard, so of course we had to use that track. And so I needed about 100 copies of a map, and someone said, hey look, there's a mobile phone number on this map, give it a ring. And that's how I met Rudy, and Rudy showed such a keen interest in helping us run our events. He said, I'll come out, I'll show you some really good stuff. And he did, and we formed a friendship that has cemented us, and we've gone from bigger and better things. So that's how I met Roots, and we then started doing the Nav Run series together.
Yep.
And I did about 70 something
About
that.
70, yeah.
Yep.
About
And
70,
the
yep.
and the Amazing Race and all those. We did Tasmania. We did lots of high country stuff, and it was a lot of fun. We then went on. I was doing some outback challenges, racing with Roger. Then I was racing in my own car, and I met the auto electrician in Broken Hill on a few occasions, because that's what happens when you stuff up alternators and starter motors in bog holes doing outback challenge stuff. And so I got to know him pretty well, and he had a brother that had a property called Cootawundi, and he was like, you've got to come out and check out our property. Long story short, we did, and I said to Rudy, hey man, we really got to check out this property. Let's see if we can build a nav run sort of event, but a little bit like the Outback Challenge. And one thing led to another. I approached the people that were running the Four Wheel Drive Monthly magazine, so Glenn Wright and all those guys, so they were in there back then. And we said, hey, how about some sponsorship, some advertising? And they said, yes, because it's in White Cliffs, let's call it the Four Wheel Drive Monthly Cliffhanger.
Yep.
And that was how it got started. We had 7 teams.
7
teams at the very first one. And we've got about 5 or 6 blokes who were at that event here. So it's great that, you know, that's how we got going.
Yep.
Good. Okay. So I want to get through a couple of quick thank yous. First of all, I'm going to start talking, mention some sponsors, and I want to acknowledge that Roadrunner are doing a live feed tonight. So hello to all the Roadrunner fans that are watching the live feeds tonight. And okay, we've got, in no particular order, this is on the back of the t-shirt, Superior Engineering, which had awesome contribution and went for naming rights.
Yep.
GME, and you can read some out, Reed.
Dynamic Wheel Company, the High Mount guy. Yep. Jeff's racing here. Yep. Mickey Thompson, Red Winch from Queensland.
Yep. We had Bain Tech
Bain Tech Technologies,
and Dave from DFI Design Fab Industries.
who also designed the trophies.
Yep.
too.
Yep. With the help of Bruce Fraser from
Fraser.
All Metal Magic
Some
with
really
the trophies.
Cool trophies. Yep. Roadrunner off road, of course. Tintercar.
Yep. Yay.
Now, long time competitors to
Been good, strong supporters for a long time. Mill World, so Mill's here, and Michelle, and so Mill. He's the sort of guy that when he sells his car, you don't realise it at the time, do you, Charles? That Mill went with the car, and he stayed with the car, and he stayed to support Charles for years, and even went overseas to support him. And now he's like, well, if Charles is not going to let me drive, I've got to build my own car again. So Mill's here racing his car. So thanks, Mill.
the guys from GQ Graveyard, some new sponsors. Thank you for supporting Cliffhanger. AAA suspension.
Oh, that lot.
How'd that get there? Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, Juzzy's Ultimate 4x4 Challenge. May and Phil at the 4-wheel drive shed. Another one, yours truly, JTX Lighting.
Damien from Yukon Enterprises. Thanks, Damien.
Yep. Peter at Excavator Parts.
And I can't read.
Yep, that's all right. Emily at Bandits Boutique. Patrick from Off-Road Lens. and the Rathbones from Wyong Automatics. What a fantastic lineup of sponsors. Okay.
Okay, we really got to acknowledge the property owners, and that's Deb, Chris, and Bert.
Yep. What an amazing property. These people are the loveliest people you're ever going to meet. And, you know, nothing was too hard. There have been times when they've not even been here when we've been running the event. And that's going to happen again during this week. They've got to go duck into town for some stuff. And they're just entrusting the place to us. I mean, can you imagine that? So that demonstrates how much faith they've got in us. And we need to demonstrate that faith back. So huge thanks to the Burke family. Round of applause.
Teams.
Okay. I want to thank all the teams for being here. Since July, we've only had one team pull out about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and one before that. Not many.
Yeah,
Not many
and then
at
we
all.
only had one earlier in the week.
Yep.
And that's it. So we went. You know, if we had 50 cars, we might have had 10 pull out in the 6 weeks before the event. That's pretty normal.
Yep, sometimes more.
So I just wanted to acknowledge that, you know, we're all pretty competitive as teams, and I just want to acknowledge what it actually takes to actually get here. And we've got some teams that have been rebuilding engines and swapping cars and doing a lot of last-minute changes to get here. Our biggest competitor is not necessarily the guy in the other car next to you. It's the demon that stops us from being here. It's those work pressures. It's those social pressures. It's those family pressures. It's the work commitments, the car that's just never going to get ready. It's the fact that we've got sicknesses in families and all that sort of stuff that we've got to face and deal with that stop us from getting our cars together. And yet we've got to push through that. You guys, 88 of you, have pushed through all of that to get here, and a huge round of applause to you all.
Right, guys. Let's not finish in our carpet work, guys. Get it up. You got this.
We want to acknowledge our magnificent team of marshals. These guys are volunteers. They're passionate. They go to not only our event, they go and marshal at other events. They come to us from all over Australia. It's what they do for their hobby, and it's what makes them tick. And they're very good at it. And they really love it. And when you really love something, you tend to be really good at it. So we've got the best, and I've got a really good team, and I almost know them all by name. So.
I'm glad you do.
But huge thanks to our marshals. Now we have broken our marshals up into 3 groups. Well, technically there's 4. You've got the admin group, and then we've got marshal group 1, 2, and then 3, and they're going to be running areas, property areas. So you know, one group of marshals will be running the Millworld area. Another group of marshals will be running the High Mount Guy area, and the third group of marshals will be running the Mickey Thompson area. And so they're going to be stationed on those stages for 3 days, and you're just going to cycle through them. You'll get the drill, you'll get the hang of that soon. And we've broken the competitors up into 3 groups. And so on the Monday, Tuesday and the Wednesday, you will cycle through those groups, so that on one day you'll be in one area, on the next day you'll be in the next area, and so forth. We know that a lot of people have said, how are you going to cope with 100 teams or 90 teams, or in our case 88? And we're like, well, we'll just break you up into groups. It's easy. Last year we had about 50 teams, and we managed to get 50 cars up a rock in a day. This time we've only got to get 30 cars up a rock in a day. See? Can do it. It just means it's going to take us 3 days to do it. So that's the concept. Okay, my role is to handle racing issues. So I'm into stages, marshals, rules, vehicle specs, the racing side of things. And Rudy handles all the camp issues and in the admin and the secretarial and all that sort of stuff. And he's done a mighty fine job of that. Internet, that sort of stuff. Do you want to pull me off a stage and make me sort out the toilets, or do you want me to run the stage? And we'll go get Rudy to do it. So, get Rudy to do it. Yay!
Yeah, won't happen, mate.
So there you go. So anything that's racing related, come and see me. Anything that's camp related, go and see Rudy.
And it's also easy, if there's an issue, get us on channel 30. So you don't have to walk from one end to another. Office. So just get us on the radio if there is a problem or you need a question answered. Or come and visit us. We've always got a crew in the office, so we'll try to help you best we can.
Yep. And I also want to acknowledge that I've actually got my family here. So, wife, Amanda, and I've got Charlie and his partner May, daughter Nicole, and Sam's racing my old car over the back. So that means a huge deal to me, and really pleased they could come out and be part of this with me. Okay, moving on to the risks and what we're facing out there in the racing. It goes without saying that motorsport is dangerous, that there are risks associated. We face risks when we get in the car at home. In fact, we probably face more risks when we get in that car at home. And when we cross the road and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Our biggest risks are not so much in the race car. So when we have our risk assessment reports, which we've got to have for dealing with medics and permits and insurances and all that sort of stuff, they say, okay, let's see your risk assessment. The number one is marshals and spectators and people and competitors, not in race cars, but people around camp, falling over in rocks, spraining wrists and ankles, walking around in the rocks, burning themselves in campfires, basically camp incidents. So that's number one. That's a bigger risk than someone hurting themselves in a race car. So be aware of that. And yep. Okay. Yeah, I've got that. While we talk about medics and people hurting themselves and taking on risks and stuff like that, we do have Brendan and his amazing team. We've got two sets of paramedics, so we've actually got four people manning two service units. They're going to be based over here next to the power pole, so that if you've got an incident around camp and something in your eye, a sprain, a burn, a medical question, then just go and see them, and if they're not there, go let the office know and they will find them, and we've got protocols on staying in touch with each other and all that sort of stuff. So these guys are highly skilled practitioners, so very lucky to have that level of talent here. Okay, I'm a little bit all over the place with the notes. We've got some stage alterations. Just thanks to the recent rain events, stage 14 and stage 20 we'd already told you about online, and people already knew them, and those have been on the board for the last few days. But today we made an assessment of the creek, which you're going to use on Sunday night, and as in the night creek run, and you're also going to use that as the finish of stage 22, which is the run back from the Mickey Thompson area. And that creek is going to tolerate about 10 cars before it turns to shit. And it would be grossly unfair if I made you run through that bog, because the first 10 cars will do it in no time, and the next 10 cars are going to take an extra half hour to winch. And then from then on, it just gets worse. So what we've done is we've shortened the course by a few hundred metres. Instead of 50 kilometres, it's now 49.5 kilometres. No. Anyway, I've shortened it by a little bit, and so we keep it fair for everybody. And so we've just this afternoon put up revised notes for stage 2 and stage 22, and you will be given out by the marshals the revised. No, with the wild cards. So remember I said you can, in the spirit of having a good time for everybody, we've introduced for the first time wild cards, and that is for a given stage you can nominate now, like tonight, if you haven't already done so. If you wanted a substitute crew member to jump in your car, like a navvy swap, and say, I want this person to jump in my car for stage, I'm going to make up a figure, stage 10, and it's an opportunity to give a support person or a sponsor or spouse to jump in and go for a fang in the car. Now, in addition to that, we've gone an extra mile. Do you want to mention that, or do you want me to?
No, you can.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. We're also allowing you to do the same for the 3 Motorcana stages. Okay? So there's 3 stages. Almost, the 3 of them are almost identical. You're going to do all 3 of them. Or 2, and say, I want support person number 1 to jump in with me on the first of them, support person number 2, and then maybe my sponsor on the third one, or something. Or maybe you don't have to. Maybe you just stay to the original team. But it's an opportunity for people to go for a ride. However, whoever's in the car must be AASA licensed, must wear a helmet, and must have a race suit. We have to keep the safety aspects under control. But let us know in the office this evening or tomorrow morning before we head off to the photo shoot, and then we close it. That's it. No more changing minds later in the week.
Yep.
That's it. So once racing starts, you're locked in your wildcards.
Got about an hour after this this presentation, or what do you call it?
What do you call this?
Introduction.
Show? Introduction.
Introduction. Yep. Finishes.
Okay.
Yep.
Actually,
Okay.
while I think of it, Rudy, the boys did a marvellous job of introducing us earlier this evening, and I just wanted to make one amendment.
Yep.
Do you want to go on with that?
Yeah, I'll go with the amendment. Just a correction. Mick said no motorbikes. We have allowed that with side by side, but that is only from camp to the stage.
Yeah, so you can ride a motorbike between camp and stage. You can ride a side-by-side from camp to stage. So following, let's call it convoy. No,
That's okay, man.
But that's okay. But we know how you got confused
But
because
I'm glad you're on board, mate.
well, because you actually
Sit on a motorbike.
you prompted us.
Yeah.
You prompted us, Mick, because one thing Rudy doesn't want us to do is ride motorbikes around camp.
Yep.
And or electric scooters and sort of electrified bikes and stuff, because that generates dust.
And accidents too.
And accidents. So
Yep.
so that's what we did have, and that's where Mick got a bit confused.
Yep.
So it's, in fairness to Mick, you're sort of on the ball.
Yep. And I've also stipulated, and that's going on with any spectators going to the stage, is keep the speed down. Yep. Because there's station tracks going there, and the faster you go, the more the track's going to deteriorate and turn to bull dust and get wrecked, and not will be eating dust the whole week. So the slower you go, the better it is, and it'll keep the dust down. We're going to try to water a little bit on the main tracks around camp, so we're not breathing much dust, but the slower you go, the better. So please just keep the walking pace, and that would be really appreciated, and I think everyone else would appreciate that too.
All right. With the scrutineering, I wanted to do a big shout out and thank our excellent scrutineering team that got through almost all the cars. They got through every car that presented, which is very good. Now, we've only got 4 cars that haven't fronted for scrutineering, and I'm aware of some of them in transit. But numbers 7, 57, 91 and 94 still need to front up. And 10, 14, 322 and 999, I believe, still needed to finish a few things.
Oh, that reminds me. Team car number 14, come and see me at the office, please.
Uh-oh.
$5.
Come and see the headmaster.
That's my first fine of speeding in camp.
Ooh.
Yeah. Naughty. Very naughty. Yeah.
Okay. Now, also, the test track is closing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Now, if you need to repair the car during the week and you need to test something, it is possible. Just come and let us know so that we're aware of what's going on. We are also using that area later in the week for other stages, so we just have to make sure that it fits into the program. But the rally safe will no longer be working in the test track environment, so the test waypoints and all that sort of stuff will be finishing tomorrow morning by 10 a.m.
Very good.
Okay, so we have got a lot of spectators. Yay, we really do. Now, in the past, to get to and from stages, we've had convoys. And there's this basic concept of a convoy procedure where you look after the guy behind and all that sort of stuff. But I will let you in on a little secret. Doesn't matter how small our convoy is, it doesn't work. So, we've done that for 20 years, and for 20 years I have beaten my head against a wall because people get lost and they follow someone who's lost, and no sooner has the convoy left, someone comes up and says, "Where's the convoy meeting?" That's like, it's already left. So Rudy takes them out on the stage while we've already left, and then Rudy's got things to do in the office, and he comes back to discover there's someone else that needs to go out to the stage, and he's got to go back again. So convoys are a thing of the past. So what we are introducing is a mud map of the property, and that's going to be available. When's that going to be available?
They're already printed. They'll be in a box, and I'll put it on the trailer here, and every spectator can come and grab one. So remember that. Your mud map for all your stages will be in a box on the trailer as soon as this presentation finishes.
Good one. Thank you, Rudy. So the mud map has identified it's a basic map, has the Mount Gap Road and then the trails on how to get to the stage areas. And when you're out driving, we've got arrows and signs, laminated signs on every intersection saying this way to the Mickey Thompson area, this way to the stage 6 winch section, this way to the Millweld area and all that sort of stuff. And then on the other side of them, there's another arrow that says this way back to camp. And we've also written numbers on them. So you could get to an intersection that's got Millweld area to the left, on the back of it is camp, straight ahead, and there'll be a number 5 written on it. And then you can look at your map and you can say, oh yeah, I can see the intersection that's got number 5 on it, so that you can tell without a GPS where you are on the map. So, so what we're doing is we're putting a little bit of faith in people's ability to stick to the map and get themselves to and from stages on their own without convoys, which means that you could go from one area to another on your own, and you could come back to camp whenever you like to have a shower or a toilet and then go back out, or support crew could come back and get a steering box and then head back out to the competition area, that sort of stuff. And you don't have to check with marshals to see if it's okay. So there's a little bit of civil liberty where we're handing over to everyone, and I think it's going to work really well, isn't it? Yay! It's much better than convoy procedures. Now,
also, while we got on convoy, there's going to be a lot of vehicles and spectator. Find a buddy. Try to fill up your vehicle rather than having one person in a car. That's going to help a heap.
yeah,
So,
if we
you
can
know,
get number of cars down with
Yeah.
fewer cars, more
Yeah.
people in cars.
Yeah, more people in cars is going to be really much better. So, you know, make some friends and go out there and,
Yep. Now,
much better.
we do have to respect the signs and stay on the tracks because they're keeping you away from the live courses. So the stages have been set up so that the live course doesn't, the stage doesn't take you to the track that's being used by spectators, and vice versa, that the spectators aren't going into harm's way. If you wander off, then I can't help that. I can't stop you. You're going to have to really go out of your way to get lost. The track is going to become desperately obvious as we put a few hundred cars over it. And anyway, we're going to give it a go, and hopefully we don't stuff it up and bugger it for everybody, because if we do, we're going to have to go back to having convoys, and we don't want to do that. So, now, we do need to get the marshals and the competitors out before we let the spectators out, because otherwise they're not going to get out onto their stages in time. And the marshals have to be there early. They're going to set up. The competitors are going to get to their starts on time. They've got to get themselves organised, get their cars ready to race, get themselves into the right race mode, have a look at the stage that they're about to do, that sort of thing. So, so what we're going to say is that we're going to ideally get the marshals and the teams to depart by about 7 a.m. Now, 7 a.m. just doesn't come and then everyone's just gone like that. I'll give you a tip. It takes half an hour to get everyone out. So we want the spectators to plan on leaving at about 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. So if the spectators are thinking, I'm going to depart at 8. Now, you're not going to miss stuff, but it gives the marshals and the competitors a chance to be out of camp and onto the tracks. What they don't want is to be driving out and then all of a sudden come across a bunch of 6 cars that left at 7:15 and they're driving slowly and they're stuck behind them. That's just not going to make it work. So please, spectators, don't leave until either 8 o'clock, which is then it's a free-for-all. If we did manage to get everyone out earlier and at say 7:30 or 7:20, it's like, well, they're all gone. We might as well let the spectators go. So we'll let that happen. But please don't just leave early. And that's really going to be as from Monday. Good question, Rudy. I'm going to talk about tomorrow in a minute. So another little bit of housekeeping out on stage.
If I may interrupt for 1 second. Manny just made a mention, when spectators are out there as well, be mindful. There's been a few snakes out and about. So be very careful amongst the rocks and the kids playing in the rocks, because I think they're king browns around here, aren't they?
Only the most deadliest snake in the world.
Satan's little helpers. So yeah. So just be very careful.
Look, anyway, we've been very lucky. We've had very few sightings. Last event we had multiple sightings, and before that we hardly had any. Yeah. And I haven't seen any in this year.
Manny just saw some today. Wind
right.
stages.
Okay.
So be very careful, please. Yeah.
Right. So fires out on stage. We have made some changes to the event, like running the event in September rather than running the event in October, because on the 30th of September they introduced fire restrictions. It's normal, which means that we're allowed to have fires out on stage. And the property owner has said we have his blessing, provided that we respect that and we're safe about it, and that we use a fire pit for it. Okay? So we don't just burn a log or set fire to a tree or that sort of stuff. So you can have a fire out on stage so long as it's in a fire pit, and that you bring your fire pit home with you. And I'm tipping, now there's a method to our madness here. It does sound like a bit of an inconvenience, but it means that if it's in a fire pit, assuming that we don't take out a bathtub, then we can only have it so big, right? So we're not going to have a great big massive bonfire because it's in a fire pit. And The other thing is that you're going to want to take that fire pit back with you, and you're going to have to try and let it cool down before you put it in the car, which means you're going to have to plan to get rid of the fire.
Don't put it in the back when it's alive.
No, no. drill. A DNF is normally 20 points, so okay. So coming last, assuming everybody finishes, is about 12 points, and a DNF last place is going to be about 20 points, and what you? Yep. No, we've got that coming up soon. Stage penalty points, 5 points. When I say an incident, that is if the bunting catches on your tray, that sort of 5 points. But if you hit 2 sticks on 2 separate occasions, that's 10 points. Back. The occasionally stepping across tight live rope under any circumstances. Something and can be connected to the tree trunk protector. I'll call it. Let's say it's cooked. No other touching the rope. Can't touch it to get underneath it, and all those sorts of things. So think about it, where you want to be before you click the rope onto the strap. Think about what side you want to be on. Sometimes it pays to tell the marshal what you're doing, just because you're telling yourself. What you're doing. So it's live when it can go tight. There is a whole host of possibilities. I went to great detail with the marshals. Yep. Yeah. So you can slide dampeners along a tight rope, but you're not actually playing with the rope, you're just sliding the dampener. Your dampener, your cable dampener, the normal one, needs to be attached to something hard, like a hook. I don't mind if it's rolled up. It can be draped. The booklet says draped, but I will allow rolled up. But it needs to be attached to the hook. If you're running a soft shackle, you don't need a dampener on it. I haven't yet seen a soft shackle break a windscreen. So, but if you're using anything that's going to hurt, if you get whacked in the face with it, it needs to be dampened. If you're going to have a strap, the strap needs to be dampened because they've got the potential for shooting off. And anything that joins a strap, like a shackle or something. What we do allow, because we're generous, guys, we allow you to hold a rope while you're driving. Now, That means, so long as it's not live, right? So it's not hooked on. It's just a loose bit of rope. So if you've got to move the car because you've got to wiggle the back sideways to get a better line up the hill, the navigator can move the rope away from the front of the car to make sure you're not going to drive over it. It's common sense. I hate the idea of someone deliberately driving over $1,000 worth of rope for the sake of not getting a penalty. It's safe, and it has to stay safe. And again, the marshals are going to control what's safe and what's not safe. But you are allowed to handle a rope. What the driver can't do is attempt to drive the hill while you're hanging onto the rope. That's different. But this is just so that you can shuffle the car around. You don't have to call stand clear winching. Weird one, right? Well, let me explain. Over 20 years, it's become habit. Hook the rope on, navigator calls away, and he's just called it. Has he bothered to see that the area is safe? Not anymore. That's a thing of the past. So it's no longer, it's no good to just call that and not do anything about it. It's just words. So what you will get penalised is if, regardless of whether you called it or not, if you're winching and it can cause risk, then you get penalised. So if there's a marshal that's too close, a cameraman that's too close, a spectator that's too close, whether you say stand clear or not, penalty. So your job, make sure it's safe. You hook on and then, oh yeah, everything's good. Just tell the driver to start winching. So, okay? You don't have to wear gloves. It's a good idea, but you don't have to wear them. I'm not making people wear them. And if the driver jumps out to help with the normally in other events where the driver jumps out, he helps do something with the winch because the navi's on the wall, he jumps back in and they go, oh, by the way, the driver didn't have gloves on, penalty. That doesn't happen here. Gone are the days of, handling wire ropes, and some people in workplace health and safety will say gloves can be injuries. So the that we're allowing only in the rampage stage because they're 80-kilometre stages and some vehicles have very thirsty engines. But big horsepower, yeah, I know. I always say that. You want to feed horses, you got to feed them with something, right?
Yeah.
So. But it's got to be behind a firewall, right? So typically a ute means it's got to be outside the cabin. So like let's say a traditional ute, it's got to be in the tray, or if you've got a wagon, it's got to be behind and in a jerry can. You can't have one behind a cargo barrier. So, heaven forbid if you were to tip yourself over and fuel goes everywhere, right? That's the only stage we're allowing jerry cans. Is the 24 or 25, which is the rampage. Another safety thing is don't go backwards on a course. So we've got wrong way back signs out on stage, and at each of those, Wayne's got a waypoint, and he knows that you've got to be travelling in a direction of southeast or whatever. And if you're going the wrong way past that sign, I'm not going to get a notification that you've just done that. Rudy gets the notification that you've just gone the wrong way. And by hook or by crook, he will make sure you get a disqualification for that stage. Right? That's because you're being unsafe. We do not want head-on collisions. That's why we frigging have Rally Safe. It keeps us honest. And it has worked since we've introduced Rally Safe. Yep. And so if you've discovered that your spare wheel has magically disappeared, it's not on the back anymore, grand anchor's gone, yeah, right? I don't care how you find it, but don't go backwards on the course. That's how accidents happen. Yep, there you go.
Leave it as a relic.
Relic.
A relic.
Right, expensive little relic.
Oh well.
No, you can backtrack, not on the track. All right, it's different if it's just a waypoint stage and you've got to get from this point to this point to this point, and you can pretty much pick any route you want. But if it's a course that's following a trail and it's dangerous, then you're going to have to detour and go around and find the long way round so you can drive that bit again or something like that. Or get on the radio and say, has anyone seen it? And communicate with the radio channel with so that, you know, someone else might be able to drop a man overboard on their GPS when they pass a stray, 40-inch to the track. And they can say, yeah, I saw it at such and such. And we can even arrange to go back and get it after the stage. And all you cop is a 5-point penalty for dropping gear. I mean, I'd do that rather than wasting half an hour to go and find something. 5 points is heaps better than half an hour. But it's much safer. This marvellous rally safe stuff. There's a clock on the rally safe and it's in seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Your navigator is going himself or yourselves. We're going to say you're starting at 1:15. And then the start marshal goes away and sits in the car. He just makes sure you didn't jump the start. It's up to you to start yourselves at 1:15. That's how the clock works. We are recording your start times, and we've got people on the finish lines recording your finish times. And the waypoints that you're going to, just like you saw at the test track, there are 20 metre and 10 metre invisible circles on the ground, and your job is to find them. They are at 20 metres, you get your proximity warning, and at 10 metres, you get your waypoint achieved. So 20 metres, that's a radius. That's a circle that's 40 metres from one side to the other, right? Which is, we're talking Olympic swimming pool size. So you've got to get yourself into the Olympic swimming pool. Not that hard, right? When it says approaching the waypoint, you're better off not looking at the GPS now and more looking at the rally safe unit, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where your GPS is pointing. What matters is the waypoint, the rally safe saying that you've achieved the point. Now, near enough is not good enough. If you can come to us and say, oh yeah, we got that, and we're like, no, you didn't, because, you know, Wayne's the one that's going to be the bearer of bad news, and you either get it. And let me explain how we work on that. How would you feel if you all, and you got we got stages that are 35 waypoint grabs, and how would you feel if you got them all and someone else only got half of them, and the other half he got within 10 metres, but he couldn't be bothered actually getting them? So he saved 10 seconds each time by saying, oh, it's close enough. Poof, off to the next one. And he's got on you because near enough was good enough. Is that fair? No? Absolutely not. You frigging get them or you don't get them. It's that easy. All right? We clear on that? So, Rally Safe also has an app for your folks at home that want to watch it, or for the people who are out on stage with Starlink and have got phone range. And it's called rc.statusas.com. I'll write that on the whiteboard later. But there is two Rally Safe apps, but that's the best one. It's called rc.statusas.com. Only got one page to go. Be aware that when you're approaching a start, it'll say ready to start. Now, when you drive away from a start line, it'll start you. So don't get to ready to start and think, oh, no, we're actually not ready, so you back. How did that happen?
I think he was looking at us when he said that, Dan.
Yeah. All right. So make sure you realise how that works. And the other thing too is you don't want to accidentally finish early. I know you've all been in trouble for that at some stage. Don't you hate that? Now, if you accidentally cross a finish line, like let's say for example you're doing a 35 waypoint grab and you're going from number 20 to 24 or something, and you think, oh, I'm just going to beeline, there we go, we'll just go past the finish line, and you trip the finish line, you're screwed and I can't fix it. So don't accidentally drive over a finish line. And we've made the then you can't get any more waypoints for that stage after it's registered, it's finished. Okay? Has a scrutineer as their marshal member, so one of their marshals is one of the scrutineering. So that means that if something happens to a vehicle and you want to get it checked out, or you've been upside down, or brings it home in a support vehicle and it's not left out in the bush. And the other is that if you are then driving without a screen, you need to wear gloves and goggles as a minimum. So, so have a support crew make sure that you've got goggles and gloves for driving.
No, it's on preview.
10 o'clock. No one
Yep.
wants to have another briefing in the morning. At 10 o'clock, we're leaving, the competitors are leaving for a photo shoot, and we're going to have the Ben's group is going to handle the organising of the lining everyone up in a straight line. We're going to head out on the Mount Gap Road, and we're going to turn left, and there'll be marshals there that are going to steer all the competitors in any order, and line them up in a line. And that's going to be in the vicinity of the Yukon pits. There's a big Yukon pit sign out there now. Wasn't out there yesterday, but it's out there today. And so we're going to get all the competitors to line up there. It's going to look spectacular. We're going to have 88 cars, 1 metre apart, all backed up against a fence. And we're going to need drones and stuff like that to try and fit you all in, but it's going to look terrific. And then after that, we're going to head out in car number order onto the Mount Gap Road. So we'll call you out one car at a time, and then you're going to be on the Mount Gap Road driving towards the start of the prologue stage, and you'll be obviously drive in car number order, which will make it easy for Sally's group, which is going to run the prologue stage. There is very well signposted area at the top. We've allowed for the fact that lots of people are going to be there, and the competitors will line up in line for their start line, and all the spectators and the marshals are going to head off to the right and park. It's all signposted, and there's also a spectator area for the spectators and support crew can be at the start and finish, or they could go to of S1, and it is on the map. And the entrance to that is down near the grid as you come onto the Mount Gap property. And then there's also a viewing area on the creek, and that so that if you don't want to go there, you could come down to the viewing area, and the turn off for that is just this side of that concrete drain that you crossed before you got to here. So the spectators need to leave after the marshals and the competitors have left. They're going to leave at 10, so once they've gone, we can start sending the spectators off. So anyway, I'm going to hand the microphone over. I've done too much talking, and I'm going to let these guys raise some money for a good cause. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody, before they walk off the stage, another big applause for these two legends, please. Thanks, guys. Thank you. So guys, we've got an auction here tonight. One of our very good sponsors, Superior Engineering, has done this limited edition of one fire pit. So
For the moment, this one here is the first one. So it is 001. And
very good.
Can we get all these guys over here up the front so they have a chance? Okay, so guys, who's going to have this one? I reckon the spectators will grab this first, yeah?
100%.
How much? 50. Oh, we'll go 50 at $20 increments. Here, go 50. Here you go. Holy dooly, we've got 100 back here.
100 over the back.
Who's going to have a go on, guys? Help out blue on blue. And for people that don't know, it's not a colour. Let's get going.
200 over here.
Who said that?
Over here.
Who said that? Well, fantastic. Thank you very much. The first one, Cliffhanger. And you can take it out with you.
You can take it out on stage.
Okay, how much you say? 200. Who's got 210, 220? Who's got it? Anyone? Someone? Who said it?
Where's that?
You legend.
20, yeah.
You are a legend. So the spectators aren't getting it, the drivers are. Hey, how much?
300 over the back.
Big round of applause here for 300. Well done, buddy. You're a champion.
350 over here.
350. Here goes the first one, and they're all limited edition. Well, this is 001. This is the first. Wow!
$400.
Mate, that is amazing. Well done, buddy. You're a legend.
Fantastic.
Hey, okay, let's go 410. What do you reckon?
Yeah, come
Where
on.
are you, big fella? Where is he? Just there. 410. Come on, mate. 410 for the man, for the 410. How do you do that shit? Stuff. Okay.
No swearing, Mr.
410, where is he? Where is he? How many? 450 over here. Oh, here we go. We're going to walk backwards and forwards.
450 over the back.
450. You got to go 460.
Come on, you watermelon
460.
smuggler. You can afford it.
I've got
Come on.
$10. $10.
Anybody
$10.
else?
String him out, 500.
500 up the front of this good looking bloke over here.
500. Who's going? 500 once. I will. I'm going up here again. We've got 500. We've got 5.
Come on, mate.
Come on,
He's a bit worried over here. He's going to get stuck.
in the spirit of Cliffhanger 2025. 5. 550. As you said.
600.
600 up the front.
Oh, mate,
600 up the front.
now this is going to be the first one.
This is
Superior
number
engineering.
one. Number one.
Number one. Okay. Where are we at, Mick?
600.
600. Where is he?
Right here. Right
Oh
here.
no, I'm going back over here. Here we go.
Don't fall off the edge.
660. We're at 660. This is amazing.
That's a round number, go 7.
Oh, so
700. 700. What's going on
I'm
over
going to
there?
go back over. This is a long
Back
way.
over there. This is good. Manny's losing weight. This is good.
Good. Well, what are we at? 800, are we?
700.
What's over this way?
You can try for
All right, 700 once.
700 twice.
700. 3 times and so. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Yeah, you get to do whatever you damn well like with it.
Let's go and see Rudy because
It's going to be on blue. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe. Thank you, sir, over here.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you over there. Be safe. Have a good one. We'll see you out there.
See you on the stages.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.